Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hades. Man, this is round 2. If you tuned in last week, you will know that I began this very stream with talking about hoping to check out the new Olympus Extra mod. Link in the video description if you're interested. And essentially, just a quick cliff notes of what it's all about. Olympus Extra is going to add 2 new gods, Hestia and Apollo. Apollo has had full voice acting added to his dialogue. We've got new boons, we've got new powers. There's a lot to unpack, but I did not, unfortunately, fully vet my installation last time. I hadn't realized there was a 1.2 patch that had been uploaded since the first installation. And so we came to a little bit of a standstill last time. But after we were done, I went behind the scenes, tinkered around a little bit, and I got us to the point where, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I believe we should be able to test them out today. So I am very excited about that. Not to mention, another little minor thing I'm excited about is I am hoping that we can get some better stream quality here. I just had the god of internet visited me, and I believe we should be operating at a much higher level of resolution now, which I'm pretty excited about. So, all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on over and take a look at what we are looking at here. So here we are, and you see this little sun emblem out here. If I'm not mistaken, this is in fact going to be Apollo's symbol, which I am pretty stoked to see. I have not gone in here yet. I don't know if that is actually the case, but it stands to reason, as Apollo is the sun god, among other things, that this would be his sigil. So why don't we jump on in? And so right now we're rocking what has sort of been dubbed the power washer. We're going to go ahead and drop one of our supports here for the fun of it. I'm not too worried about being the fastest in this particular scenario, or the most efficient. Kind of wanted just to get as much testing as possible. For science, all for a good cause. Getting some pretty decent wall slam. There we are.
Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us go ahead and accept this mysterious boon. Now, keep in mind, Zagreus' lines, of course, are not voice acted, because when the voice actor for Zagreus originally recorded all their lines, Apollo and Hestia did not exist as gods, so I will have to do a little bit of Zagreus narration in the interim. I hope you'll forgive the replacement. This presence, it feels like Artemis, but something is different. In the name of Hades, Olympus, I accept this message.
I come all this way to help you out, and the first thing you do is confuse me with my sister? Not the best first impression, cousin.
All right. Okay, well, so there is our first encounter with Apollo. Very nice. I'm really glad that the voice acting is there. So we're going to have to figure out what exactly the deal is with Apollo. Like, for example, Dionysus, god of wine, hangover. That's essentially kind of a damage over time effect. Artemis, critical chance, critical damage. So Apollo, looks like we're working with blind right now. So we've got wishing well, using a fountain gives you extra coin, which is nice. Radiant dash, your dash creates a circle of light that damages foes and inflicts blind. And blind here is defined as, for at least 5 seconds, victim has a 40% chance to miss their next attack. And then your special deals more damage and inflicts blind. Why don't we go ahead and try that? Let's try that on our special, I guess. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a radiant destruction there. So now that we have added Apollo to our god pool, hopefully we should be able to add some more of that, some more of his type of boons here. Now it will be a little bit hard, I will say, to figure out exactly how well it's working. Because blind, well, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like blind would be a little bit difficult to suss out whether in fact it's working, because you just won't get hit, you know? Let's go ahead and take our special to level 2 while we're here. Yeah, everything seems to be in order.
More numbskulls?
Alright, these guys should be not too difficult to clear out. I do like the sort of extra, I don't know, shiny animation that we're getting with the radiant damage. That's always fun. I'm talking about radiant damage here because I don't know if you could tell, but I dabble in D&D a little bit. My first character ever was a paladin, so thus the radiant damage references. Okay, good so far. We probably will need to find a way to increase our damage output just a bit before we get to the end game. Alright, what do we want to do here? Why don't we... Ooh, tough choice. Let's go here because I want to see if we can pick up more Apollo boons. Even though in a typical scenario I would probably go health. That's a bummer. Alright, so we're not gonna give the one that we want, but that's okay. We will... Let's see what we're rolling with right now. I'm trying to remember. So right now, we're just rolling with Poseidon and Apollo. So we can go ahead and grab ourselves another little we'll do the palm first. We'll take our attack to level 2, and then we'll go ahead and grab a Poseidon one as well. Let's see. Boons with knockaway effect deal bonus damage to bosses. That is actually extremely helpful, because our basic attack is going to be pretty much our bread and butter when it comes to taking down bosses. Alright. What do we have over here? I wonder if next time maybe we want to choose something other than the rail, because it might be a little bit easier to see the blind effects. You know, just because with the rail plus the knockaway, it doesn't always get to the point where I can really see if the blind is kicking in. I do see this new sort of status symbol, so if you look above these enemies here, let's see if we can get ourselves vectored into a good scenario. So look, see it both over their heads? It's kind of like a little ghost type icon. To me, I believe that is supposed to be an eyeball and sort of indicative of the blind effect.
Earning my keep.
Which is very very interesting. Let's see what we're rolling with here. Treasure, I'm not too concerned about. Okay, and so here we've got the two gods that we've accepted boons from so far. We've got Apollo and we have Poseidon. So why don't we go ahead and check that out and see if we can get maybe another Apollo boon. Actually, let's go ahead and do that right away.
Another one bites the sticks.
Alright, so your cast launches a flash bomb. After detonating, inflict blind on foes in an area for 3 seconds. There's this wishing well, one again, and this dash. Let's go ahead and take the Apollo's cast. Again, this is brand new. So a flash bomb will supposedly inflict blind. So I'm interested to see how that is actually going to shake out.
To play with fire, don't you, nephew? You'll find the same is very much the case with water too.
All right, let's bring it.
I'm sorry, Uncle.
All right, so here is our cast. So our cast actually looks very similar to the sort of bombs. I think they're called Inferno bombs that some of the Tartarus bosses will drop. go ahead and keep dropping as many of these casts as we can. Yeah, I am. So the blind does seem to be catching up to them, or sort of sticking fairly reliably, which I am excited to see. They're taking quite a bit of damage from Poseidon, but it's fine. We're here for science. Go ahead and clean this up real quick. Okay, good. Drop another one of those there. And there we go. Okay, and we got a rank up from our Artemis, or no, from our excuse me, from our
Uncle's going to
Persephone
let you off
boon,
the
was
hook
it?
this time. Just mind your manners next we meet.
Alright, very good. So, what do we want to take? Your boons with knockaway effects, also rupture foes. I think that's the move. Sort of the dovetailing the secondary damage output. So, for example, when you do Zeus's boons, if you can also grab Jolted, that is often a good move to have. So, sort of dovetailing that for us here with knockaway and rupture, I think is going to be the move. Okay, and a little bit of health going into the first boss encounter using Apollo. So that's exciting.
Megara?
You know Batty's not going to work here, don't you? I'm definitely not going to help you out of this one.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, mate, you can do anything if you set your mind to it. Though don't worry, Batty's just here for the show.
Then let's make it a good one. Come on.
Alright, let's go ahead and drop as many of our specials here as possible. Because I think it's... Oh yeah, that damage output is actually fairly nice. And I'm very interested to see how the blind effects kind of work on her AoE type attacks. So this is going to be a very AoE heavy type build, I think. With the blind effects that we are utilizing here, plus the sort of splash damage that we were going to be able to take advantage of, we should be able to just kind of step up, sort of sit back, and let those effects do it for us. And I did see here just a second ago, we already saw a miss from Megara, which is pretty infrequent. Usually, most of those attacks are pretty spot on, so those blind effects are working out quite well. Yeah, so that one right there, for instance, I believe, was able to kick in. So that is huge for our defense, our defensive capability. Alright, just one more here should do it. There we are. I really, really like that, actually. It's very subtle, because, again, like, you don't always notice the blind actively. It's sort of a passive background type capability, but the ability just to sort of totally discount one or two of the boss's attacks is pretty huge, and that's going to be even more impactful when we get to Asterius, because Asterius, if you have any experience with him, you know that he can hit for
How many times?
50 sometimes.
My father.
Pretty serious damage. So even dodging one of those is going to save us a ton of health in the long run.
So much for Tartarus.
So exciting. We're going to also try to see if we can find Hestia, if possible. Right now, I think we've only accepted 2 gods. As we learned from last time, we can get up to 4 in our god pool. Looks like Artemis is going to be our 3rd here. I guess I could have potentially re-rolled that if we'd wanted to. But that's fine. Our power washer is doing work pretty nicely. Dodging into the lava, as is tradition. It's going to be a little bit confusing for the enemies that do drop Inferno bombs for our cast, since they just have the same sort of aesthetic. Alright, but pretty quick. Let's see how we're doing. No, I think we'll hold on to the nectar that we already have.
When I'm on the hunt, my mind is clear and nothing stands between me and my target. Though have a blessing just in case you can't relate.
Alright, Artemis's aid. That's pretty good.
On the prowl.
That's always a solid one to accept. Okay, we've got Hermes on the top corner, and we've got a pomegranate. Why don't we keep leveling up our Apollo abilities, if possible, just to see what kind of maximum impact we can get from them.
Inferno bombers.
Yeah, see, we got a miss kick in right there. So that blind effect is definitely the more we get into Tartarus, the more of those effects I'm starting to see trigger. And if we can stack our cast with our special, that's like we're basically dropping a nuke on them, which is pretty neat to see. Plus the knockback effects, we can essentially just use the lava to our advantage. Okay. Yeah, we are creating some serious pain there. That's great.
Power of Olympus.
Let's see. Yeah, we want to take our special to level 3 because we want some seriously big booms when we drop that special. All right, let's see if we can find the Daedalus upgrade that allows us to not have to reload, because that does get a little tedious for the rail after a while. It's interesting, when I was poking around on Nexus mods, again, where you can find this mod if you're so inclined, some of the other sort of quality of life mods that I saw on there did have to do with the rail. It's like an automatic reload type thing. Not so much that you get unlimited ammo, but just that you don't have to stall out. So you can kind of hear when I get past my last round, it just sort of stalls and clicks if you don't manually reload. And so you can miss a decent amount of sort of damage output time if you're not careful. So I always try to keep sort of one eye at the bottom just to see what my current clip size is, but of course with just the sheer amount of like task management that goes into encounters like this, you can't always keep an eye on your clip size as much as you would like to. So I can definitely understand the desire for people to kind of have those reloads kind of auto-regulated for them. Alright, what are we working with here? Treasure, I don't need too much. There's Artemis up there. Demeter, let's just go to Charon's shop and see if we can get lucky with some of our boons. Alright, just give me 1 second here as I tweak some settings. There we go, that should be good. Okay, there we are.
Better stock up.
Now let's see what's on sale. So there's Dionysus. We don't necessarily want to grab that because I would like to leave a spot for Hestia in case she pops up. Why don't we go ahead and use one of our rerolls? Again, we get 3 of them. Yeah, that's actually good. So Poseidon, that's going to count towards one of the gods that we already have. All right, so we've got a Witch's Circle here.
Hello, Witch's Circle.
So the nice thing about our special here is I believe the witch's projectiles are going to trigger them pretty regularly anyway, which means that we're not going to have to manually trigger them, which we would typically have to do. Come on, there we are. Not bad.
Well, I for one had a lovely time.
Alright, let's see. Your attack and special are stronger the first 10 seconds. We'll take that. That's not going to help us, you know, all that much in terms of boss encounters, but it's sort of a nice quality of life improvement. Now we've got an opportunity for some increased health. I will gladly accept. Thank you.
Good.
Get a little bit of a top off. And 354 gold going into the shop. That should be able to get us at least 1 boon, if not a boon and something else. Okay, we'll pass on Demeter. We'll take the palm.
Cheers, mate.
And why don't we take our cast damage to level 2? So going from 90 to 140 is actually going to be pretty nice. Okay, and so now it is Hydra time. Let's rock and roll.
May I say you look lovely this day or night, Lerny.
Alright, we're just going to drop all of our damage right there in the middle. And just let it sort of rank up, or build up. Okay, come back over here and pick some of these up. Okay, we should be, yeah, we're ready for phase 1. We could just sort of focus down the heads one at a time. Yeah, that's going to give us a little bit of breathing room, I think. Go back over. And actually, now that I think of it, so I started this run last time on stream. I believe I got the upgrade where it's, whenever I special, I can hit 3 times in rapid succession. So I don't have to wait as long as I typically would for a normal rail special. But for our purposes, that's pretty nice to be able to get those out and doing damage right away. There we go, already on to phase 2. Let's get that out of there. Okay, good. Yeah, so those casts are doing some noticeable damage there. That should take care of him. That guy's got a blinded effect on him. I guess maybe tactically, and I'm still sort of figuring out the best way to do it, but sort of spreading the casts around to spread out the blind effect. Let's go ahead and use this on the last remaining head. There we are. Again, we want to maximize our blind opportunities, especially when it comes to the boss. Yeah, so we see he is affected. Oh, that's not good. Okay, there we are. Hey, what's up, Emma? Welcome. Oh, you barely missed anything, Emma. No worries. We just encountered Apollo for the first time, and now we're just sort of testing it out. We're gonna... So since we've already picked up the first one of his boons, we will, I'm sure, have opportunities to get more Apollo stuff along the way. So, not to worry.
Thanks for the tip.
Not to worry at all. We'll save ourselves the heal and go from there. Yeah, so I'm very excited to test this out against Theseus and Asterius, because getting those, essentially what it amounts to is forced dodges. I think that's kind of what the blind effect, it seems like it could be counted as. That's pretty massive.
More strongbows.
They don't, typically, at least lately, they haven't been hitting us that many times, but the times they do hit us are pretty, you know, like I said, it counts for like 40 to 50 damage per hit. So, you know, players who are trying to save up as many death defiances as possible, and, you know, especially if you're going against the advanced version of Theseus and Asterius, you're probably going to drop the death defiance. But being able to save that and go into the Styx with not having to replenish your death defiance, or sometimes not even having the opportunity to do it. Sometimes you have to buy it or cross your fingers and hope that an Athena boon comes around. That's going to be huge. So it's definitely a more defensive-minded upgrade, it looks like. Okay, what do we got here? So this is kind of the one I was talking about before. Infinite ammo, but damage no longer ramps up. Foes targeted by special move slower and take 30% damage. Or radiates damage, 250% damage in a larger area. I actually almost wonder if I want to take this larger area, because the special, since it's immobile, and the bosses tend to be very quick. Sometimes they sort of move out of range of my special, so I almost would rather have my special hit more just to maximize my chances of it in fact landing on say Asterius, for instance. Okay, so here we are. Let's go ahead and see what the... Yeah, so that is a very nice buff to our... oh, that's a little bit of a display there. That's a very nice buff to our area of effect. Okay, here we are. Here we go. Prevent the revive. Let's preemptively drop a bunch of stuff there. Yeah, with our 3 special attacks plus the casts, which are almost like a 4th, 5th, and 6th special, we can definitely get a healthy amount of splash damage out immediately. Especially against immobile targets like the butterfly guy there. That's going to be pretty nasty. What do we want to do here? Bonus damage against bosses. So that's really only going to apply to our basic attack. Let's get our arrow to level 2 maybe.
My senses.
And let's see, 415 gold. Yeah, let's go ahead and stop by Charon and see what the deal is. Alright. Let's just take some health. But we'll talk to Charon first, I guess. Here we are, max life up, which we needed. We're definitely a little bit... oh, this is new. I was going to say, we definitely have a little bit less health than normal. So here we go. Here is the second god that we were looking for, if I'm not mistaken. So Hestia, she is the goddess of the hearth, sort of the protector of the household. So often there would be like a little, the family would keep like a little shrine to Hestia somewhere in their house, and sort of be kind of like your household idols that you would pray to. And some of them would have like personal significance to the family based on their history, or like where they came from, or what was important to them, or maybe even their occupation. But Hestia is kind of like your standard one. That's where you get the Vestal Virgins, who would tend to the sacred flame of Hestia, or Vesta, as she was known in the Roman version. So I believe that's what this flame is signifying. So let's go ahead and check it out. Isn't that lucky? We've gotten both of our new gods in one single run. That's really nice to see.
Short order? That was another jab about my height, wasn't it?
I do not jab. All of my strength goes into every strike. Observe.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's get those blind effects percolating as much as possible. Oh, see that blind already kicked in. That was a miss. Ordinarily, I'm very bad at dodging those bull rush attacks, and that would have absolutely have been a hit. So, I'm really, yeah, really solid mechanic. A really fun mechanic. It's allowing me to feel a lot more confident, getting a bit closer, which I like as well, because ordinarily, I'm like, if I get too close to Asterius, I'm dead meat, but having that blind mechanic in there is going to sort of allow you to be a bit more aggressive, which I appreciate. Because to me, it's not quite as fun standing back the whole time and just shooting from afar. I guess that's one strategy, but if you can get in close and personal, to me, that makes for a more interesting kind of experience. Yeah, there's another miss there. Okay, good. One more should do it. One more big special. Let's go ahead and collect all of our casts. That should... I was going to say that should do it. Almost there. There we are. Not bad at all.
Till next time, sir.
It's funny, that little blind effect above Asterius, that little icon, it kind of reminds me of the Boo ghosts from Mario. But anyway, here we go. Here is our first encounter with Hestia. So again, because Hestia is the newest one that's been added, her voice lines have not been fully voice acted and added to the game yet. But we can go ahead and start getting a sense of her personality from the dialogue here. So, were you defeated by Asterius? Don't hold any grudges against him. He's always been alone. I suppose Theseus's friendship is what he always wanted, and he feels the need to show his appreciation by helping him keep you away from the surface. Friendship comes in all forms. So Hestia seems to be very sort of an even-keeled personality as opposed to some of the other ones that we've encountered. Okay, so very interesting. Flaring Rush. Your dash creates a trail of fire. Molten Sting. After you take damage, create a random lava pool around you. And Molten Core. When foes are slain, they leave a lava pool behind. So it looks like Hestia is going to be predicated around kind of fire, like a burning effect to some extent, and maybe creating like environmental hazards for enemies. I don't know if it's just going to be fire, or if there's going to... I assume because it's the Vestal Flame, or the Hearth, that makes sense. It probably just will be fire. So what do we want to do here? After you... So there's the revenge damage. Your dash creates a trail of fire. When foes are slain, they leave a lava pool behind. Interesting. Let's take the revenge damage, because we're going to... Goodness knows that we're going to be getting hit a decent amount. Let's go ahead and read up in our codex about her as well. I believe that few Olympians had such high regard for mortal life as the goddess of the hearth. Far kinder and more forgiving than her sisters, she was once tasked by Zeus with tending the fires and feeding all of Olympus. Indeed, I was always most grateful in my mortal days to have her blessing on cold and dark nights. And while we're here, let's go ahead and read up on Apollo as well. One of Zeus's many sons, he is the god of archery and poetry, music and dance, truth and prophecy, healing and diseases. Apollo has kind of a not a catch-all vibe, but he does have quite a variety of different attributes that are associated with him. And I think that's one of the reasons why Apollo is one of the few gods that retains his same name from Greek to the Romans' kind of adaptation of him. Because of course, like Jupiter became Zeus, or Zeus became Jupiter rather. Ares became Mars, but Apollo became Apollo. Kind of interesting. All right, what do we want? Let's take. None of these are what I would really want. I guess the first 10 seconds, just so that maybe we can get through the sticks a little bit quicker. We've got another opportunity to take Hestia, so let's go ahead and do that. And I don't think we've taken any damage so far, so we haven't really seen the lava pool being created yet. Let's hope that we don't have to test that anytime soon. Man, the sort of weapons at our disposal are very handy for dealing with these chariots. Now, I thought we had just taken damage a second ago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we took damage from the butterflies there, and I don't believe that we saw a lava pool being created. Maybe I'm not understanding what we're supposed to be seeing. I almost just want to let somebody hit us, just so we can kind of test out what that lava pool might look like. Okay, there we go. So we definitely... Oh, there it is. So there's the lava pool right there on the ground, that kind of purplish patch. Now, the issue I see with that is that those lava pools are not very big. So you're kind of... I don't know, unless your build is kind of predicated around getting hit a lot, it might be hard to get those enemies to stand in those pools. Let's go and give her the first nectar, just so we can get her boon. You've been so kind to me, Lady Hestia. I found this and wanted to give it to you to show my appreciation. Giving to others while you don't have much of yourself, hmm? This shows how good your heart is. I shall return the kindness, if you'll allow me. And we've got the bottomless cauldron, which again is essentially going to allow us to get her boons as quickly as we want them. All right, so here's a few extra options. You take less damage while standing in a lava pool. Lava pools are bigger and last longer, or your dash creates a trail of fire. Let's take this lava pools are bigger, because again, it's such a small environmental hazard for our enemies. I have a hard time seeing kind of how effective it would be. But maybe we just need to take those, you know, find those sort of next level bonuses. Those level 2 and 3 kind of epic level ones, and maybe that will... Because sometimes you really have to level up those boons for any given god to see their maximum effectiveness. So I will reserve judgment. Okay, not bad.
There. She is, Father.
Thank you so much. I think I want to take that that mirror ability to get healing on crystal income. I am kind of missing that right now. Okay, so now we've got ourselves a
Looks like I've got a choice.
god competition. Let's go ahead and do the... So last time we had one of these choices and we took Apollo deliberately. Why don't we do the opposite? Why don't we deliberately piss him off and see what he says?
Right on the mark.
Okay, your critical effects deal even more damage. After you cast or hit with an attack or special, fire a seeking arrow. Ooh. That is a tough choice, because with our, yeah, oh, I don't know. I guess we'll take the epic one because it's here, but the seeking arrow is quite good.
It seems like you have a death wish. Wait, that's an excellent name for a band. Here, deal with these guys while I go write that down.
A little bit of a lyrical reference there.
Had to do it.
Okay, let's see what kind of Apollo revenge attacks are going to come at us. Nothing so far, unless I'm mistaken. So typically it's very obvious what kind of what the god is doing against us. Oh, now I have a blind effect. That's probably what's happening. 'Cause typically I would not get affected by that. So there's that lava pool there that we saw. I don't know if you saw that. That was triggered just a second ago. Oh, there it is. I see it now. So now I'm blind. Temporarily. There's that lava pool. Okay. And it did look like he took that environmental damage. Now I wonder, is that lava pool, because it's a different color, is that going to be harmful to me? Or... like in addition to the enemies, or is that just sort of coded to only be harmful for enemies? Man, there's so many enemies for this one. Alright, there's that lava pool again. Maybe, I feel like Hestia would be really good for like a melee build, because if you create those lava pools from in-close damage, you're probably just going to be staying in-close anyway, for the most part. Versus this like range, range habit that we have for the time being. It's kind of drawing enemies.
The show must go on, Zagzag.
Zagzag. I don't love that. We're not on nickname terms. But for ranged attacks, creating those lava pools, and you kind of want your enemies in them as long as possible. So having a build that draws them out of that sort of revenge damage area, I don't know, maybe not as helpful as a melee one. But anyway, so here's here's another Apollo one that we haven't encountered before. Gain 1 reroll for every 300 gold. Receive 1 reroll. You know what? Rerolls are not a huge part of my current, I guess, typical, utilization of how I conduct business. So to me, that's not a must-have. Using a fountain gives you extra gold. That's fine. We'll just take the dash, I think, because we We don't have a dash so far. Oh, and of course we want to keep taking advancing Patroclus and Achilles' story as well. Apollo, you flirt. Yeah, exactly. I've already got enough people who are jonesing for me. Having to deal with gods as well. That's going to be a whole nother level. Lordy, lordy. All right.
You've ample time for fishing, have you, stranger? And here I thought you'd more important business to attend to, though it's not for me to judge, I guess.
I'll have you know some of us take matters of fishing very seriously, sir. Besides, helps take my mind off having to fight your Elysian brethren non-stop.
Sure, it gets a little tedious after a while, doesn't it?
Mind off this fight if it's one that you hope to win, stranger. I once took my mind off a fight and, well, I wound up here.
Okay. Right. That's a great question. Why are we talking about fishing? I have not fished in the past, like, however many rooms. Let's go ahead and take our Death Defiance, I guess.
Thanks a lot.
There we go. Oh, because there's a fishing spot here, I guess. Where I heard the telltale fishing ding. There it is. Patroclus somehow knew.
There. I caught a clam.
Skillfully done.
Oh, thank you. See, I feel like Patroclus is warming up to us a little bit. And that's alright. Okay, I think this is our last stop before Theseus and Asterius. I wouldn't mind having a little bit of a heal right now, but clearly that's not going to be in the cards. Okay, so here we go. We've got our combination Poseidon, Artemis, Apollo, and Hestia build, so
nothing left to say to one another, Hellspawn, other than to battle.
This is really going to put us to the test. Alright, start dropping everything. Okay, we got the blind inflicted on Asterius. I think we got a dodge there, if I'm not mistaken. Let's keep collecting our casts. Nice. Really solid damage output. That's pretty huge. It's like it's the best of offense and defense for Apollo. Like we're causing the bosses to miss attacks defensively. Plus the damage output for our special just seems to be bonkers bananas. Especially because we can pile up 3 of them kind of in a small area. Greater call? Sure. We'll do that. Ooh, yikes. We are sitting on 1 Death Defiance. Or, almost losing one, I mean. Oh! There we are. Now let's go ahead and stand in this and see if we take any damage. I don't think we do. Yeah, so it looks like we're able to stand in these lava pools and not get hit, which is kind of nice. Okay, we've got a blind on him. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing those misses coming in. I'm not like, yeah, I still am just not like overwhelmed with Hestia's abilities. Especially because those lava pools dissipate after a while. Like if they stuck around, that would be one thing, but the fact that they last like, I don't know, 10 seconds and then just dissipate makes me not quite as keen on them, I guess. Almost there. But extremely solid damage output from Apollo. I am I am very pleased with that. I think for Hestia that maybe the lava pools just need to be a little bit bigger, you know? Let's see. We don't need any of that. I don't know. We'll see how we do against Hades. But I expect the effect to be somewhat similar. I think we just need bigger lava pools and maybe some kind of passive healing effect, like you standing in a lava pool from Hestia will slowly replenish your health, even if it's a super slow kind of like drip feed charge. I still feel like that would be a little bit better than nothing. Let's go ahead and go for health increase first. Oh yeah, we're getting dodges left and right. You see all those misses popping up right above their heads of the enemies. I will say it doesn't do us much good in terms of avoiding environmental hazards. So we are gonna we're gonna have to be extra careful not to dodge straight into razor blades. Okay. Not bad. There we go. We got a nice trap kill there. Okay, round 2. Yeah, with our ability to push people with Poseidon, I feel like we're extremely effective in this room, because I think we've gotten like 3 different trap kills so far. Uh-oh. Let's go and get some healing. Oh, I didn't do it. Here we are. Ooh, yikes, yikes, yikes. Let's not drop any Death Defiances here. Hello. Cure. Sometimes hitting cure doesn't always clear the effect from me right away, which is a little unfortunate.
That's something.
But we still have a pretty big heal ready for us when we find the fountain. Okay, what do we want our second run to be? I don't know, I guess for the purposes of testing, let's go ahead and pursue another Hestia. I was going to say Testia. Another Hestia room. Cool. Pretty simple stuff. I think my special can be fired off a little bit more than I'm using. Oh, there we go. Very nice.
Just the foul.
So I'm gonna try to drop the special as often as I can. I think I'm waiting a little bit too long in between uses.
In the name of Hades.
All right. When foes are slain, they leave a lava pool behind. That's what we saw earlier. Gain bonus damage when you pick up a centaur heart or centaur soul. Receive 1 centaur soul now. So that would get us plus 25. And it would give us... I'm guessing it's not retroactive bonus damage. So even though we've picked up like 4 or 5 centaur hearts, I don't think we will get the damage. So I'm not sure about that. And then you take less damage when standing in a lava pool. That's pretty lackluster to me. Only 12% resistance. Yeah, I don't love that. When foes are slain, they leave a lava pool behind. We'll take that because there's a good number of minions that Hades spawns. So I feel pretty good about that helping us out in the long term.
Should I go fight some satyrs to get out of here?
Let's see what our options are. We could get a little bit more money. We could get some Artemis stuff. Then we've got 600. Let's start by taking Hermes.
Here's the fee.
Whenever you are hit, you have the chance to dodge automatically 20%. That, I think, is going to stack really, really nicely with the blind effects from Apollo. So I am actually... Because consider this. If the foes have blind on them from Apollo, they attack once, and then there's a 1 in 5 chance for them just to miss outright, just because of this dodge effect.
That's good. That's good.
I feel like that's pretty powerful. Let's maybe save up for a higher pomegranate. So why don't maybe we do this one at least?
This one, I guess.
Get a little bit of extra money.
Easy.
Nothing too crazy. Just enough to get us over the 300 mark. Stay away from those blades. Very cool. And we saw some of those lava pools already triggering because of their death. I feel like that does make it a lot more powerful, that effect. Having foes sort of inflicted on each other is a little bit more palatable than me having to take damage. Yeah, see? Now this is a lot more interesting because there's so many enemies around here. Oh, I could get some healing here if I wanted to. Let's do that. Let's top off. There's so many enemies, especially here in the sticks, that having those lava pools spawn from enemy deaths, that is going to work extremely in our favor in comparison. Let's go and get a reload in. Okay. I'm just going to stay back here. Mr. Rat. Okay, let's get another reload in. Just a little bit of a display there. Yeah, having the increased AoE size from our special is also... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Come on, man. And dodge on these guys actually is, in my opinion, almost equally huge, because satyrs are some of, as I've said before, soapbox time, are some of the most annoying enemies that you're ever going to face. So being able to dodge them, pretty huge.
Now for a chat with Cerberus.
Oh, I heard a fishing notification. Where is that? Here we are.
Fishing time?
Let's go ahead and pick this up while we're here. Okay. And then we will take this greater pomegranate.
Should come in useful.
Okay, what do we want? Boons with knockaway effects, rupture foes, take that to level 3. Artemis's Aid, that has not really been a huge part of our game plan, so I think we'll skip out on this one. We could get our dash to level 3. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take Apollo's dash up a little bit higher, because I'm curious how much of an effect. So it looks like, I see. I was wondering how the AoE would be, so it looks like it's right behind us. So we want to dash away from enemies to maximize our ability to blind.
Solitary weakness, Satyrs' axe proved terribly effective once again.
I owe you one, boy.
All right, very, very interesting. So now we've got both Apollo and Hestia in the holster for our first Hades encounter. Well, with them, not first at all, but you know what I mean.
Looks like the realm needs some adjustment still.
No matter how often you defeat me, I shall face you here.
Alright, here we go.
I'm empty.
Oh yeah. See, we've already gotten the blind effect on Hades.
Not yet.
Like, that kind of debuff this early in the fight is pretty huge. So first damage immunity, okay. Good start.
Please teach me more.
Alright, there's a lava pool there. Now, it didn't look like he was taking any damage from it. Maybe I'm just not interpreting what I was seeing correctly, but... Alright, we're gonna have to dodge this wave, unfortunately. Oh, and to see that blind effect just kicked in there. Because ordinarily, I think I would have missed that, that swing attack there. So it's actually, you know, helping me, giving me a little bit of a, some breathing room. Alright, drop your damage immunity. I want to fire this at you. Okay, good start. Alright, we'll let that skull go ahead and take off. We can go up here to get our casts back. Ah, shoot. Come on, go down. Alright, first wave down.
Not yet. Not now.
Out of my sight.
Alright, get behind here. Can we loft these over here? Yes, we can. Just sort of chuck stuff over the wall at him.
Not yet.
You brought this on yourself.
Throw that over there. Good.
Can't do that.
Alright, there's the second damage immunity. Ooh, that's a lot of waves. Raider call? Sure. Why not? Thank you, Artemis. As Aphrodite and Apollos and Artemis's divine calls are definitely a lot of fun. Wow, this is the first time that he has dropped the pots of stunning on us. Usually that would have happened by now. I wonder if that's the fastest time that we've beaten him.
Comes a certain strength, it seems.
That's got to be a statistic that we could see somewhere in the Hall of Records, right? Like the quickest defeat of Hades himself, just within a boss battle.
By my father's name.
All right. Very, very cool. So I will say, first impressions of Apollo and Hestia. Apollo's blind effects are really, really powerful. I almost feel like they're almost too powerful in some ways, because the amount of times that I was able to benefit from a lucky dodge, it felt like it was extremely high. So it's all because I know that Hermes also gives you some dodge capabilities as well, and I guess that's partly me stacking. Let's see, which one do I want to deselect? Deselect that, and then there's that one from Hermes. Yeah, greater evasion. Whenever you are hit, you have a 20% chance to dodge automatically. So that probably helped. But that on top of inflicting blind whenever I dash and whenever I special, which I can use 3 times in succession. Maybe it's just the specific aspect that I chose, but it felt like that was extremely powerful to hit blind. It almost felt a little bit unfairly so. I'm not sure. I will still have to figure out with, you know, maybe testing with some other weapons if that's the case for all of them. To be fair, this is the Lucifer aspect of the rail, so it is, many would consider, the most powerful aspect, so that could be part of it. Maybe picking the best aspect with a power like that, it kind of stands to reason that it might feel a little bit overpowered. So we'll try with a melee weapon next and see if that changes our perspective. And kind of the converse is true for Hestia. So because her boons are lava pool based, whether enemies inflicting it on themselves or from you taking damage, it felt a little bit underpowered. Just because the opportunity to get enemies into the lava pool seemed a bit more limited. I will say that when we took the boon that had enemies inflicted on themselves, it seemed a little bit more effective, just because the sheer number that we would face per room in the Styx meant that it would trigger a little bit more often. So, and again, I think that maybe her stuff might be more useful in a melee build, because when we get hit, we're going to be near enemies anyway, and they're going to be more likely to trigger those effects. So I think that we need to run this back again with those, with a melee build and see how that changes.
Although there are innumerable ways for one to die, our danger-seeking prince has come to know a sizable variety.
But on the positive side for both of them, I will say amazing art. There's some incredible artists out there who it boggles my mind how well they can replicate like the aesthetic. Really, really nice art. And I will say that the fact that both of the powers of Apollo and Hestia have kind of been incorporated very thematically in terms of their mythological connections, I think that is nicely done. Because to me, that's two different conversations, right? There's from a game design standpoint, you know, talking about the art, the thematic aspects with mythology, so on and so forth. That's very separate from the mechanics of damage and the actual runs themselves, right? It's almost two different worlds rolled into one. And I think from the game mechanic standpoint, the jury is still out on some of them, but from the art direction and the aesthetic point of view, really nicely done.
Thanks for dying. Nice to see you here again.
And let's keep on chatting.
You'll forgive my asking, but your mother used to call you by a different name, didn't she?
Ugh, don't remind me. Imagine if I called you Zaggy Poo from when you were born to this very moment. That's how that name felt to me. I much preferred the name my father gave to me.
Your mortal father, right? So he called you Persephone. What was he like?
He was kind to me, and funny. Little bringer of destruction I was to him. I liked that. He was right, I was a terror. But then he passed. I was very little still. My mother never spoke of him again.
Demeter mentioned him a bit to me. She seems... I don't know, but I don't sense that she regrets the relationship or anything. Just sad about the outcome, I think.
I suppose I can see that. I thought I might end up like father. Growing old, wasting away. Then the time flew by, and I realized I was closer to mother's side. Mortals certainly don't have it easy. But their limited days, it means... they live their lives to the fullest, I think.
At least we've some of that in us.
Indeed, my son.
Let's go ahead and check in on our relationship status real quick. So Orpheus just looks like he needs one more to forge a bond with him. Sisyphus and Achilles are locked. Eurydice needs one more. Patroclus is locked. Cerberus is maxed. Dusa, we can do a little something there. And then, of course, the Olympian gods. That's kind of the default mission at this point. Thanatos, Megara, we need to keep them going. Then Chaos. Chaos is like the guy I always forget about. I don't give them enough stuff. But I need to remember it whenever we run across them. Oh! Hello, Achilles.
I need your help with something, lad. As I'm about to risk it all, I think. Will you hear me out?
Oh, risking it all. I'm a fan.
Of course, sir. What is it? I'm listening.
The pact I signed with your father. It must be buried somewhere down in the administrative chamber there. I dared not ask that you locate it, out of fear that tampering with it would only make things worse, except...
Except that fear is for the weak, Achilles, sir.
Indeed. Besides, your father has been more abiding than I expected with how you were able to void the pact that separated Orpheus and Eurydice. So perhaps my case isn't a lost cause yet.
That's right, there's precedent.
Nix about it the next chance I get.
Oh, come on.
And I'll be careful, sir. I promise you.
We don't need to talk to Nix. Why don't we just go in the record chamber right now, dig around, confront Dad. As a matter of fact, why don't we just go in there, because it's been a little while since we've been in here. I'm curious.
How have I been doing?
Let's see. Security log. So this is basically just a summary of our latest attempts. Again, I wanted to see if they're...
My boons.
Yeah, these are like the most common ones that we've used. I still want to see if there's a record of like quickest times against specific bosses. Boons and benefits. I guess there's not any way to change that.
Interesting.
Because I'm pretty sure, like in some previous runs, I was able to destroy the Hydra in like 90 seconds or less. And this last encounter with Hades felt extremely quick as well, so I would be very curious to know. We'll go talk to Deuce in a second. Let's go see what's going on here.
I'm pleased to know my new, more flexible arrangement remains to your satisfaction still, my lord. I must admit I feared that my departure would result once more in a protracted stay within the pits of Tartarus.
Don't give me such ideas, Orpheus. Instead, you go about your business there and play your blasted songs when circumstances call for it.
I shall be happy to oblige, my lord. Eurydice and I are grateful for your magnanimity.
Good thing that's settled then.
Finally, those two can be together. It's always nice to be able to run into them.
Circumstances call for more pets.
Why don't we check in with the contractor? It's actually been a little bit of time. Let's see. We were saving up for something. I'm trying to remember. Oh, was it this 1500? Yeah. This 1500 crystal vintage shelf. Well, we're only 160 away from it, so let's not fall short now. Oh, let's go ahead and increase our relationship status. There we go.
Here, Meg. Contraband. I wish I could do over how we started.
I, too, wish for a lot of things. Unfortunately, there's no unraveling the fate's patterns. We can learn from our mistakes or keep repeating them. That's it.
What if I've learned from my mistakes? Have I ever done anything to hurt you since we've been like this? Discounting the unavoidable and frequent fights to the death.
There's nothing you can do to hurt me, Zag. It's just a question of whether you're worth my time.
Ooh.
Well, am I
Yikes.
worth your time then, Meg?
You know... Let me get back to you on that. I need a little time to think it through.
I see. Take all the time you need.
Okay, so we are level 2 out of 3.
How's it going?
Alright, let's drop off our fish. I think we've got a decent number to turn in.
Seems
Love
fair
it.
enough.
I'd cry if someone said, yeah, that's a little bit rough to hear from somebody. It's like, I'm not sure you're worth my time. Ouch. Thanks a lot, buddy. Let's see here. I think we're doing fine as far as trade. Why don't we check the garden area real quick? No, nothing going on in there. For the mirror, I do want to go ahead and switch the ability that gives... let's see.
Like so.
Is this the one? Deep pockets? No. It's the one that gives me some healing with crystals. I'm trying to remember which one that is. Not that. This it restores some of your health when you collect crystals. Yeah. Versus 3 health per chamber. I think I prefer this just a bit. Okay. And why don't we check the prophecies while we're here?
That definitely came to pass.
Oh, look at that. Quite a few. Primordial Banes. The son of the god. The son of the god of the dead. The son of the god of the dead. Got a nice cadence to it. Shall someday suffer various curses inflicted by primordial chaos. 30 keys.
I think Master Chaos just likes messing with me.
Love it. Divided by death. The son of the god of the dead shall make certain attempts to aid a great hero who gave up his exalted place in the underworld for the one he loves. That is our current mission, I guess. An end to torment. The son of the god of the dead shall make certain attempts to aid the shade of a crafty king, forced to toil eternally, hefting his boulder in Tartarus, and find a way to pardon Sisyphus. Man, that's great that we're able to actually help our friends who have been helping us along the way. Gives us good vibes, you know? Goddess of the Hearth, this is the new one for Hestia. And then Primordial Boons. There's one more that we need, it looks like. Defiance. And... interesting, I guess, where is the one for Apollo? The Boons of Hestia. Aphrodite, we need one more. Hestia, there's a bunch. Huh. So, yeah, interesting. Maybe that's something they're still working on. The mod team is adding Apollo to the prophecy list, or maybe there's some kind of weird combination. I don't know. Hey, we're actually sounding all right on the lyre. That's not bad. Did he get a nectar? Trying to remember. Yes, I guess we did... oh, did we? No, we gave Hestia... oh, you're right. You're absolutely right, Emma. That's a great thought. So we gave Hestia a nectar.
What's this one?
Which is why she shows up in the prophecy. But we did not give Apollo one yet, I don't think. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Let's switch this up. Let's switch our companions. So we did this one here. Batty, here's Mort. We did Companion Rib, and then we'll try Fiddy after this one. Your summon deals 3,500 rather damage in an area in front of you after a brief delay. And actually, why don't we change up our primary boon to Hestia just to make sure that we get some of her abilities. And why don't we do... actually, you know what? Why don't we do the gauntlet? We don't... it's probably my least used one. And I'm curious if Hestia's abilities will sort of improve our use of it. So, after landing 12 strikes, your special hits more times. Special becomes a magnetic color. Let's go ahead and use the Talos one. Let's practice. Boom. Okay. Alright, I'm curious. Let's see how this works. And our heat, we're fine with just using extreme measures for the time being.
Again.
No need to get too fancy.
Nobody gets out of here, boy. Whether alive or dead. You think I jest? You think I haven't tried?
No harm in giving it another shot.
So my hope would be maybe getting Hestia for our basic. But first we're getting Daedalus, which is totally okay with me. After using your special, deal 90 damage in an area where you land. That seems really good. Your dash strike deals 60% damage added to attack sequence. Or while using your attack or special, you are sturdy. You take 30% less damage, and your actions cannot be interrupted by taking damage. Actually, that sounds great. Not being interrupted.
These fists are hungry to fight.
I feel like that could be a major disadvantage to the fists. So that actually sort of counterbalances one of the major cons. Okay, you know what? We haven't done an Erebus Gate in a while. Let's give it a whirl for the fun of it.
Greetings, Father.
So you returned.
No damage run. Here we go. As it was foretold. Ooh, let's get that witch out of here ASAP. There we go. She's out of here. Oh, shoot. Of course. Of course. That's probably going to be the only damage we take, isn't it? Well, RIP to me.
Not my best.
But on the bright side, we do have a choice to go after Hestia's stuff, which is what we want anyway.
What is it now?
Okay. Not bad. I love the magnetic cutter. Alright, we already gave her one, right? So we'll save one for Apollo. Young one, I have a favor to ask. I know how Hades is. He doesn't open up easily to others. Could you please add some lights to his domain? Show him what's in front of him. I wonder if we could actually add a hearth. Now, this is interesting. Your attack deals more damage and attracts foes. Does that mean that it, like, it magnets them in much the way that our special does? I think we're gonna have to try it because. Ooh, we'll do the chaos one. Yeah.
Hit me.
I don't know what attracts mean in this context. Sometimes some of those key game mechanic words have like definitions associated with them, but I didn't see one for this, so we'll have to try it out. Let's give Chaos a gift while we're here.
Master Chaos, I pledge never to forget you or your good graces. May your wisdom and your whim forever guide me.
Is this an offering of fealty or friendship, son of Hades? I do not wish to know from you the answer, so that I might dwell on it and all the possibilities.
Okay, I will just not answer then, if you say so.
Such darkness emanates from you, O son of Hades, that I once again did not entirely anticipate you would arrive just now. I suspect even your father must have difficulty keeping track of you through the domain he calls his own.
That's the truth. Alright, for the next 4 encounters, life total is reduced, then gain more life. Each time you attack, get hit for -4. That seems like a horrible idea for our weapon. And the same thing for the special. So yeah, we'll take this. We'll take this top one. Let's go ahead and alter this reward. Keys are kind of a bummer reward.
I don't think so.
Yeah, much better. We'll get a we will get some healing. Risk it all. That's right, Febreze. Welcome, my friend. Glad to see you here. Get out of there. Okay. Risk It All was for Achilles and Patroclus. We advanced their storyline, in case that's what you were asking it about. And sure, fish. Oh, we're too poor to afford most of that stuff anyway.
Ready, lads?
So it does kind of seem like we're pulling them in. But that's very interesting. That's actually really, really powerful, especially for a melee weapon like this. To be able to pull enemies in on our basic. That's probably the best thing out of Hestia that we've seen so far.
I found you once again, dear cousin, and my strength is yours. So much of it as I can send there to the bowels of the earth.
Alright, cast damages foes and can deflect. Sure, let's take that. That's always kind of fun. It's like launching a giant beach ball at them. You know, this is an extremely powerful build because both our special and our basic can attract enemies in. So basically, I can almost just stand in one place and Yeah, we'll take that. And pull them in without too much worry. We're too poor to afford anything with Chaos, so, or with Charon, so... Oh yeah, this feels like... this already feels like this is going to be a very strong build. Because essentially what we can do is just sort of almost like keep backing up and magneting all of our enemies in without needing to get in that close, you know? We'll go to level 3 for our attack. Get a little bit of healing, which is always nice.
You're nothing.
And there we go. The Chaos boon expired. Let's see. Let's go ahead and grab another Hestia boon and see how it's gonna stack.
Whose favor to choose?
And again, out of curiosity, let's go ahead and deliberately anger Hestia to see what kind of the like Olympic vengeance is gonna be. So we'll take Athena's stuff.
Olympus, I suppose.
Let's see. Death Defiance replenishes more. That would be kind of a waste. Your special is stronger and can deflect. I mean, sure. Alright, Hestia. I don't see her getting mad, really, but... Oh. Well, this is interesting. I believe you know me enough by now. I don't like conflict. I don't see the point of fighting you. Take this and be on your way, young one. That is very interesting. Forgiven. May compassion guide your path. Well, that's kind of funny. I guess that kind of fits with her being more of a... I mean, she is the goddess of the home, so she's not going to be all that vengeful. Very interesting. Your boons with attraction effects are stronger and attack more foes. So, with our basic attack, we can increase our magnet capabilities, essentially, by 50%. I say let's do that. That seems very strong. Yeah, that's a very interesting...
no one's here.
It was certainly unexpected, right? And it is kind of refreshing that not every god throws a tantrum, you know what I mean? Like, odds are, there's got to be at least one out of them that are somewhat well-adjusted. You know, that can kind of be the adult in the room. So, that's fun. Alright, we can afford something now. Let's go ahead and take Hermes.
Should help keep me going.
Each time you enter a chamber, gain a bit of wealth. You know what? Sure. We're early enough that that can actually pay off for us a bit. Okay, so...
We meet again.
Here we go.
Sister. See, Electo? He is right on time, just as I said.
Megara, bleed him.
Thanks. So again, we've got our magnetic effects on both our basic and our special. Now, for the boss, it doesn't seem to be super... I guess we are slowly moving them in, but not as much as we would move in like a standard enemy. You know what I mean? Like a garden variety type of guy. So it's only like kind of marginally effective, I guess. Okay, halfway. I would like to get a little bit more health, just because, you know, we're going to be getting in pretty close. Ooh, yikes. So, the opportunities for them to to hit us up close and personal are going to be maximized. This would actually be very nice for Apollo to kick in here and get a little bit of blind effect.
Strictly business.
Insane skills coming from Galactic. That's right. You saw it here first. Fully insane. Sisters are fatigued. That's right. They can't handle the swag that that Hestia brings to the table.
Check.
Hestia swag. Hestia's for the best of us. I don't know. There's something there. We'll workshop it.
Be there soon, Lemmy.
All right, but we are dirt poor. I just realized we're only sitting at 45 coins, and typically we have a little bit of coin to play with here. So I'm actually not too mad that we're in a room that's going to make us a little bit of money, because I think we need it. Punch.
What do we have here?
Punch, punch, punch. Alright, what do we want? Do we want to take a palm or... Yeah, why don't we go palm? I think we're doing fine as far as speed type upgrades. Not too stressed about that. Oh man, this is super effective against the witches. Just being able to pull them in. Because they like to kind of sit at arm's length and propagate their shenanigans, so being able to close on them quickly is really nice. Alright, one more round.
Good enough to eat.
Alright, what do we want? Attack damage to level 4. Let's get our special up.
Juicy.
Getting our attack and our special up to level 2 is always appreciated. We could get a key here. That seems like a massive waste. We could go see Charon. Or we could go to the crystals and get a tiny bit of healing as well. Which is what I would prefer to do.
I'm empty.
Got a thwomp to worry about.
Not now.
Can we just get this guy out of here? Nope, one more will do it. Alright, took a little bit more damage there than I prefer. But Athena's coming up.
Course is set.
She's always a solid get. Alright. Witches, you don't know what you're in for here. But it's pain. See, yeah, being able to attract multiple enemies in on our basic, that's actually a pretty huge, that's massive in an area like this. That's absolutely massive. We'll take the dash. The dash deflect is pretty sweet. Alright, we can go Hermes, or we can go Chaos. We're already a little bit low on health, so ordinarily I would go Chaos, but I don't want to push it until I can get a nice heal in.
I'm empty.
Whoops. There we are. I do kind of miss Apollo's cast just a bit. Being able to inflict AoE blind on the cast is pretty powerful.
We've got a ways to go yet, boss. Good news is the slowest part of this particular trip is hereby over now.
Alright, attack is faster, move faster, drop time quicker. Let's do attack speed because the sheer number of times that we attack in any given encounter is always going to be universally useful. Let's take some health while we're at it. For a melee build like this, I would love to get over, say, 250, if at all possible. Alright, hello. Here we are. Yeah, our magnetic capabilities, and then even combined with the dash or deflect on dash means we can magnet in, we can dash / deflect towards whoever we're pulling in, and that's pretty powerful. Ooh, yikes! A little bit of a misplay. Get out of there. All right.
Much better.
Not terrible. We get a little bit of healing while we're here.
What's in the well this time?
This will give us some healing. Okay, that's fine. Is that it? Is there like a treasure trove? Anything like that? No. We've got some money. Let's go see Charon. Can't wait for the boss of Asphodel. Best music. Yeah, Hydra's soundtrack is pretty banger. Not gonna lie. Let's take some more health while we're at it. We'll skip the mystery boon because I would still like to leave the door open for getting Apollo further on. But I feel good for where we are at the moment. Alright, let's punch a Hydra to death, huh? What do you think?
Why must we always fight like this, Lerny?
Yeah, the damage output is not as, like, robust as some of the other builds that we've done. I do like there's a little bit of range on the gauntlets, so we don't necessarily have to be, like, literally right on top of them every time. Clear through here. Clear some of these guys out, get our casts back. Go around and be ready for round 2. Is there someone still alive? No, he just took a while to drop the shield. Okay, there we are. Round 2. Let's go. We just got to keep dashing so that that deflection can kick in as much as possible. Pick up this cast while we're at it. Yeah, again, the magnet effects are not as potent on the these Hydra heads as they are for your typical run-of-the-mill enemies. But that does mean, I think that's a fair trade-off, because that means that when we do come here, we're probably coming in with a little bit more health than typical. Ooh. Thanks, that hurt. Alright, why don't you come back over here? I'll wait for you. That's a bad spot for me to try to run into. Come on.
Don't do that.
No, he's gonna insist. They're gonna insist staying over there. That's fine. Ouch. That's very strange. I've never seen them, like, insist on staying over there before. that a new thing? We might drop a Death Defiance here, unfortunately. Oh. Actually not. I should have backed myself.
Done bashing heads for now.
I should have just believed, man. Alright, well, talk about skin of our teeth. 2 health. Alright, up to 94. That is very nice. Let's see if we get some more health. Yes, let's please do that. Up to 145. Alright. Now, I would like to continue testing this this lava pool capability from Hestia. Hopefully we run into some more of her boons along the way. Let's go more health. I think the sheer amount of health that we're gonna need. I said 250 before. I think maybe even that would have been that might have been a little bit of a low ball for a melee situation we find ourselves in. But yeah, pulling them in. I know I'm repeating myself, but pulling them in so consistently and being able to use, like, essentially what amounts to environmental damage, like slamming them into walls, or if I had, like, a magma in front of me and I was pulling them from across the river, then I kind of let the world do the work for me, you know what I mean? And some of the enemies, when you pull them, are essentially staggered, so you essentially just don't let them get any attack off.
That's a relief.
Love it. Okay, we've got another Daedalus hammer up there, which I am all about. Let's do that. I kind of regret taking the Athena cast right now, though, because I would love to have something with an AoE effect. Because if we're pulling all of the enemies into us anyway, then being able to drop some kind of cast right on top of them while they're in up close and personal, I think would be more effective than what we have right now, unfortunately. But that's okay. You live and learn, and there's always an opportunity to purge the boon if we wanted to. We'll just have to see what kind of options present themselves. Nice.
Secrets of the twin fists.
Money pots? That's true. That's a good point. I almost always forget 2 or 3 pots along the way. Attack has more range. It deals 10% damage. That seems awesome. Deal 90 damage in an area where you land. So the question is 90 damage on a special going to be equivalent or outweigh 10% damage per attack, which we attack like 6 or 7 times before doing a special? This dash strike, I think I could skip out on, but let's do the range. Because I would like, if I have the possibility to stand back a little bit farther and hit. Let's just double check on pots. I don't see any pots unless I'm completely blind, which is always possible. I think we're good here. Let's go ahead and spend some of our money. Speaking of. Alright, we've got Ares there. We could get a heal if we wanted to. That would top us off. Let's see what's coming up next. We've got Poseidon and we've got more health. Yeah, let's go ahead and get it. Let's top ourselves off a bit.
Thank you, mate.
Here we are. We'll take this. We will get our attack to level 4. And let's go get yet more health for us. Why don't we?
Flame wheels.
Oh yeah, flame wheels. Got nothing on magnet gauntlets. Okay, maybe they've got something else. But the range, I can definitely... There's a noticeable effect on our basic attacks range. That is for sure. I will say though that the Athena deflect on dash, that will never not. That will always be a good upgrade. Well, I was about to use too many double negatives. The Athena deflect on dash, in my opinion, is the king of the dashes. So you won't go wrong there. I love how they the little ghosts try to run away, but you just magnet them back in. It's like, no, I'm not done with you yet. You're not going anywhere. All right, let's get some more money. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with our attack damage now that we've gotten a couple major perks to it. Now I could replace my cast here if I wanted to. I do see there's like the purging station for purging boons if I wanted to. I don't know. Hard to say. Well, I don't even have an option to, so there we go. That answers that. Alright. Oh, I don't really want either of these. Why don't we go and use one of our rerolls here?
Time for a change.
Yeah, pomegranate. Love it.
I'm empty.
Kind of like the strategy of backtracking a little bit, pulling them in, and then backtrack, like getting a few hits in and then backtracking and just sort of using that as a way to make sure they never truly get like a full hit on. Okay, round one. Oop. Almost dodged right into that arrow. I guess the cast is okay. As long as I drop it when they're right on top of us and all bunched up, then I could see it being a good investment.
Gods grant me strength.
And on that note, let's get our cast up a little bit more. All right, let's just keep building ourselves a tank. We're gonna get up to over 300 health with this reward set here. Yeah, using these sort of barriers to our advantage, so that we can magnet them in, but they have no opportunity to get a hit in on us. It's actually pretty nice. Still take that wall slam damage. Uh-oh, that's not good. Armored chariots, man. Is that English?
You called.
Oh. Did I call? I guess I must have. Oh, that was a little bit of a misplay. I think I accidentally hit the button for calling in the companion support. Well, now we know what that looks like. That's good to know. That was our Mort ability. Yeah, Companion Mort. When Mort first emerged from the darkness, he was frightened to discover he was on the smaller side of the variety of creatures that surrounded him. The world was such a dangerous place. However, Mother Night told him to take heart and not to make too much about his size. It was not to his detriment to be so small. Mort decided to put the idea to the test. Imagine a ginormous eyeball floating in front of you. Yeah, in real life with all the veins and weird mucus, etc. I won't go into detail, but one can imagine. One can imagine the unpleasantness. Alright, well, now we know. I'm curious, let's test this out again. So if we take Athena again, is Hestia just going to forgive us every time? Or was that a one-time deal?
I am most grateful.
Athena's aid is pretty whatever. Sure, resistance from traps. Hestia? What do you have to say? I already forgive you, but that doesn't mean I won't make it hard. What does that... Oh, okay. Never mind. That was just a one-time deal. That would be almost a... That would almost be too good of a deal for her to just be okay with it every time. That's fair. We tried her patience. She's unhappy. I get it. Okay, there's first one of them. The nice thing about these confrontations is that we don't have to venture into the god revenge area. We can just pull the enemies out of that spot and have them come to us. Communication comes in many forms. Fighting is one of them, but it is certainly not my favorite. Ooh, your cast launches a fireball which spawns a lava pool. Death Defiance gives you health, replenish when used, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's do that. Remember how I was complaining about the cast before? Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Oh, that's a very slow cast. We can stand on it and we don't get hurt, right? Yeah, confirmed. Sure, a little bit of a heal. Some crystals, why not? We don't technically need it, but I'm curious to test out the lava pool effect. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Interesting. See, that seems a little bit more robust than some of the lava effects that we've seen before.
I expected more from the Exalted.
Huh. 130, thank you so much. Alright, actually, you know what? I'm curious. Why don't we take the Ariadne one? And then we'll go here, because I'm wondering... Remember how we've always been trying to get Theseus to make a comment on us? Comments to us if we have the Ariadne boon? I think the timing might just have worked out in our favor. So let's see if we get any special dialogue from Theseus, because of course, as you may know, him and Ariadne have some history. So let's see.
You. What's this?
Yes.
Our enemy has come to mock us, Asterius. He holds the yarn of Ariadne and would flaunt it in our faces.
What, this? They just picked it out of a well. Was supposed to help me get here. No offense intended, more than usual. What's it to you?
As if you wouldn't know. That yarn is a token of days long gone, when Asterius and I battled in the labyrinth to the death. Together we now face a greater threat. Attack us if you dare.
Oh, cool. So if you don't know, you may already know, but for those who may not, when Theseus met Asterius, of course, it was Theseus and the Minotaur. Ariadne was the daughter of Daedalus, and Daedalus was the designer of the labyrinth. Essentially, he was able to romance her, or they sort of forged some kind of connection in such a way that she agreed to help him with the labyrinth, which was meant to be so powerful that nobody could solve the maze, right? And so she gave him this magic yarn, which essentially, it's kind of like a Hansel and Gretel type thing. Like, you could lay it out and the yarn would unspool and sort of lead you in the proper direction. And because of that, they were able to successfully navigate the labyrinth. And so that was the only way that he was able to ultimately find Asterius at the center of the labyrinth and defeat him. So, kind of cool that they have that reference there. All right, my damage output here is a little not great. usually by this point we've gotten him to the halfway mark. We're still... Ooh, yikes. That was not great. Yeah, again, bosses being immune to magnetic effects. That's a tough. That's tough if your build is sort of predicated around maximizing those opportunities to get in close and personal. All right, there we go. We finally have the first wave, if you will. We're probably going to drop a Death Defiance. That's kind of our typical, yeah. Our typical formula for these level of fights. Try not to drop a second one, but it's not unheard of course. The cast is just so slow with the lava. I don't know. I don't know if they maybe just need to increase the animation speed to make it truly worth it. Ouch. Alright. Maybe that's the trick, though. Maybe I just need to reserve it to use in close, because otherwise it just takes way too long for it to generate. Almost there. Good. Come on. Go down, Asterius. It's time for Theseus and I to play. Ouch! Yikes. Once he gets that whirlwind attack going, if you are caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, you can say your prayers. Goodbye. Finally. Okay. We've got a little bit of work to do. Oh, that was a waste. Yikes, you really got to put it like right there. Alright, they're taking like 52 damage per second. That's like, I don't know. Now I'm kind of regretting this cast just a little bit. It's definitely not the best that I've ever seen. Man, I don't know, guys. Again, the cast aside, even just the sheer damage from the gauntlets, I feel like I need to be inflicting something, like some other status effect on the boss to truly make it worth it. Because if it's just the magnet effects, then that means that I'm losing like half of the utility, versus like Ares' Doom on there, which really kicks in a major way. Or even like the Zeus's shock or lightning effects. Alright, there we go, finally. Why don't we... We'll drop the lava pools over there. I guess if he's just standing in one spot like that, it works. But that's not always going to be the case, right? Oh, ouch.
I'm empty. Who taught you such sloppy technique?
Uh-oh. That was almost extra bad. Okay. Well, certainly not our finest performance, I will say. Hello. Thanks for coming.
Should be another such performance soon.
Let's get a much-needed heal in. You know what? For the purposes of what we're working with here, I almost feel like we need to switch to the Lucky Tooth. Just to get that extra survivability in there.
One last stop.
I hate to say it, but we just may need to out-tank Hades more than any sheer damage of our own, but... Let's see. Let's see what we can do to maximize our damage output. Alright, we're up to 430. I guess let's go ahead and take a Hestia one, because that's what we're here for, right?
It all in one place, mate.
Ooh, traps deal 400% damage to foes. That would be great, except that Hades doesn't fall into traps. So it's not going to be super helpful for us in the final boss fight. Otherwise, I would totally take that. But this is interesting. Your call fires rings of fire, restoring 1 health per foe hit. Call fires rings of fire. Huh. I mean, let's give it a try, no? Alright, what do we want to take? I think we usually start out with taking as much health as possible so that our fountain effectiveness is maximized. Here we go. Punch in the pots. Can't forget the pots.
I can't.
Yeah, those lava pools just take so long to get out there. I don't know, man. I guess let's drop just a few in here for fun of it. Maybe, so you know what? I mean, maybe this is obvious, but I should just drop the lava pools in front of me, and then magnet the enemies in. And that way they're kind of forced to stand on it, because it definitely is not working as a standoff weapon. In the same way that like Artemis's seeking casts are, you know, that is very much like a ranged capability. So I guess what you could kind of do is just use the lava pools as like almost like a defensive screen for you, so that by the time that enemies get to you, they're gonna have taken a little bit of environmental damage just naturally. Like we'll place it right here around us, just sort of block that way off, and if people try to run through it, then they're gonna get hit. Alright, we are in a little bit of a corner here, which I don't love. Get over here. Alright. Well, we didn't get the opportunity to use our God Summon, which we will try to do in the next one, just to test it out, see what it looks like. Oh. We pause this program for a message from this sponsor, brought to you by fishing. Come on, anytime now.
I got one. Another scuffer.
All right. Pomegranate, I guess, would be nice. Easy to catch, easy to use. The ultimate, the ultimate man's best friend, the fish, right? That's what they say? Alright. Come on. Well, on the plus side, we are making bank right now. We're up to 500 plus almost 600 in not too long. Okay. And there we are.
Already.
We'll take that. We'll take that. Yeah, we go. 600, almost exactly.
Whatever this stuff is.
What do we want? Ring damage 2. Let's just get our special up to level 3. I'm not 100% sure.
Bit of an aftertaste.
Ah, man, even that is not as much of a heal as you would like, right? Get one of those singing fish for his wall. He seems like a discerning type of gentleman, for sure. He's got good taste in his bedroom for decorations. It's not tacky, it's art. Let's see if maybe we can get some healing from here. Oh, love it. I love when the exact thing that I need drops for me. You love to see it. Okay, now I feel pretty good about going into the final encounter. I think we're pretty much as good as we're gonna get in terms of our capabilities, so now it's just a matter of making it there with minimal damage sustained. Yeah, I'll just sit back here where you can't get to me. In an ideal world, this Athena boon that we're about to come up on would give us some kind of like death defiance for punishment. Ooh, is that deflection already kicking in? I'm really missing Apollo after the first that first encounter with him. I'm hoping that we can get his what do you call it? His sigil or his keepsake, so that we can call on him at will. Because I would really love to keep. I would love to do a melee build with the like the blind effects that he provides. I think that would be very interesting to sort of confirm our hypothesis from the first round with the ranged. Okay, that's good. Who's left? Who am I missing? Oh, just you? Die. There's one resilient pot. Okay.
Olympus.
Come on, Death Defiance. No such luck. Begin each encounter with your god gauge partly full. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Because I do want to test out and see what we're gonna get from this particular summon. So that's fine. That means we'll get at least one in. Now here's the question. We're up to 769. We don't need any of this per se.
Where to?
But both of these are boss battle type encounters. Let's re-roll this Zeus one, I would say.
How about no?
Yeah, you know what?
Here goes.
We're here for testing. If we don't beat Hades, that's fine. That's not really what we're here for per se. We're here to maximize our testing of the new abilities. So once more into the breach. Yeah, I know. Sorry to fake you out, Fabrice. I think we'll be okay after this one. Oh, and look, our gamble paid off, so we'll have 4 Death Defiances. This seems like a very good position to be in. 350 health, 4 Death Defiances, and starting. Let's go ahead and use this. See what. Oh, interesting. So we've got like a little mini. So that little wave right there was me triggering the summon. Or the divine assistance. So essentially, it's kind of like you're a little mini version of the one that Hades has. I don't mind that too much. Why don't we? Oh, of course, get poisoned. Let's go ahead and use that, and it heals us anytime we use it, which gives us a little bit of our health back, which I appreciate. That's great commentary right there. Healing gets us a little bit of our health back. Sometimes I say the smartest things. Alright, well, let's get out of there. Shoot. Alright, well... If it wasn't a rat, a poisonous rat, we would have done a little bit better here.
Not yet.
Get some healing while we can. Alright, well, there we are.
Olympus, I accept this message.
Again, they give us this duo, 400% damage to foes. Again, that's not going to be... Well, you know what? Yeah, I don't think there's any traps, really, that are going to trigger in the Hades fight, so I just don't see this as being helpful. Death Defiance gives you plus health. Now, that is actually interesting. That is actually interesting. Replenish... One use, obviously, we don't need, but Death Defiance would give us extra health. I feel like that is actually somewhat important. So anytime we use a Death Defiance is how I'm interpreting it. We would increase our max life. Took you a while to understand the purpose of that well. Yeah, there's so many moving pieces to a run that it's easy to totally miss out on stuff. I understand. I can sympathize with what you're saying. There's a lot to keep straight. I guess we'll take this Demeter. Ooh, 712. Let's do the math here. I really want this Hermes one, but that would only allow me enough money to get this Demeter. I guess that's fine.
Should come in useful.
Maybe we can get an extra...
My blessings to the highest bidder, boss, but your bid there is good enough for me.
Maybe we can get an extra dash. Yeah, +2 extra dash, or 40% move speed, or foes drop past quicker. Let's take the extra dashes.
Time to go.
And then we'll take this Demeter. Ooh, we can get a little sneaky heal right here. Let's do that. Nice. I love it. So that didn't really do much for us other than getting us the heal, but we've got 4 Death Defiances, and we're topped off on health, so I feel like we are in as positive a situation as we could ask for.
Thanks, boy.
Cerberus impressed. Here we go.
Been waiting long?
I had other pressing business to attend to, but I cannot let you leave.
All right. Here we go. All right, we're just going to drop some of these right here in front of us.
Come do that.
Ouch. Come on.
Do you feel your blood beginning to boil?
Alright, we probably want to save this God Gauge until we have a few enemies, like right here, for instance. Yeah, that's actually kind of satisfying to be able to use my own wave.
Quit it with this, father.
Get a tiny bit of healing in. Oh yeah, suck it. Okay, that's the first one. Come on.
Stop right now.
You know, I think you're right.
Good chat.
Ooh, ouch. I think this time we're gonna save our God Gauge until it's completely maxed. Just because I'm curious as to what the maximum one will look like. Alright, almost there. Alright, greater call. Here we go. Let's do it. Oh, nice. So it sends out 3 waves. That's actually very nice. But he went under stealth right as I wanted to get healing, so... Ooh. Didn't realize there were two of them right there.
Not yet.
Yeah, that's the thing about being a melee build, is you're almost... I don't know. It's pretty common that you're going to take damage from that backswing whenever he reappears. Alright, let's collect our casks. Alright, this guy is going to be super annoying. Shield guys are hella annoying even in the best of times. This is the worst possible situation. Ah, that wave. Alright, let's go ahead and drop this here. Alright, thank you so much. Okay. Again, we're only getting healed for 1 health anytime we use it, so it's not like the most game-changing thing ever, but it adds up. I mean, if we can try to use it as much as possible, then that's going to give us the effective healing like, I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 times. Really, every time we want to use that, he just happens to go under stealth. Isn't that convenient? Definitely having to work for it. Skulls, I'm getting pretty fed up with. Please get through the first phase ASAP. No! I don't think I got credit for that heal there. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright. Always a sucker for pink powers. That's right. The power of pink cannot be understated. Or no, it cannot be overstated. The other one. Alright, let's clear some of these pots out. Ooh, shoot. Oh man, I got caught out in the open. And I got stun locked at the same time, so that was a bad combination. There we are. Man, if I didn't have the extra reach on my basic attack for the gauntlets, I honestly don't think... Oh, that's actually a very nice effect, to be able to get rid of those pots all at once. But if I didn't have the extra reach on my gauntlets, I don't think I would be able to dodge the few attacks that I have scarcely even managed to dodge at the moment. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and drop one of these, because it's going to damage basically all of his pots. That's almost worth it just for that in itself. Just the ability to get rid of all that potted nonsense. Alright. Alright, there's his mid-phase damage immunity. I'm gonna have to get ready to dash through. Right there. And dash through there. Deflect that. It's always easiest, in my opinion, just to set yourself up to dodge perpendicularly to the waves. Alright, I could use god gauge thing right now. Alright, there goes one of those.
There is no escape.
Come on. Oh, okay. Interesting. Alright, let's use it here. Yes. Okay, good. Come on. Come over here, walk into the lava. Okay, not bad. We just need to
Let's see you run from this.
be patient. Keep dropping this lava pool here. Oh, come on. Come on, go down, go down. Good. Almost there, yes. All right. Oh, man.
You shrug off death as though it means nothing to you. Let's do this again.
Oh, father-son bonding time. That's heartwarming. We're playing catch in the backyard, as in catch the spirit of the chest. Alright, so what did we learn from this? So we were able to test out a different component of Hestia's powers, sort of putting her into a melee situation. I will say that probably helped us out. I was a little bit more impressed with the performance once we sort of figured a more optimal way to use her abilities. As in, if you're able to magnet your enemies in close and sort of drop the lava pools, you know, right next to you, then that's a little bit more effective than trying to use her in a ranged capacity. Because that was a little bit more underwhelming last time. Overall, I don't know if she's my favorite that I've tried before. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely different. And maybe there are going to be some neat combinations that will turn out to be good in the long run. I definitely think the deflect paired really well with the ability to bring people in close, which I did appreciate. So my game plan is next. Why don't we try to do the same thing, except if it's possible to target Apollo, then we will shoot for that. Just to see, again, how he compares.
Zagreus proceeded onward toward a certain doom, entirely too graphic to describe.
But I am very pleased that we were able to win. I was a little worried there, just because our damage output was not at a very robust level by the end.